I think we also need to see if the Fourier cycle is true or is not true anymore. So I think Q4 of this cycle will be crucial to understand if this theory is no longer in place. And so that's why my feeling is that it will be very turbulent for the whole year, because I deeply think that Bitcoin is much more mature now, that the Fourier cycle is probably over. So a lot of people will sell, a lot of people will show up and buy, so the expected bear market won't be really I think occurring, and we will go inside Q1 and Q2 of 2026 into this kind of new leg up. That's my general overview. So I think a lot of people will be caught off guards thinking about the Fourier cycle as a dogma, and probably it won't happen. So a lot of people will, and so that's why Bitcoin is very uncertain. It's very flat. It's going up, then it's going down. A lot of liquidation on both sides, a lot of uncertainty, a lot of fear. To be honest, I'm fine with Bitcoin at $100,000 because we are at 95. Okay, 125 was better, I agree. But a couple of years ago, we were at 20,000, 25,000, 30,000, 10,000. To be honest, I'm not in a bad situation with Bitcoin at 100K if it's sustained and if it's the base for the next leg up. So I think overall we need to see this trend, if the Fourier cycle is dead or not, and we might need a few more months to have the final overview on that. But coming back to strategy, Fernando, I just want to share, I'm sharing the screen of the post from Sailor saying big week, and I think it will be a big week because if it's true that they raised $710 million around dollars for Stream, and Stretch has been very, very active, plus the other instrument, I think we can see some 5, 6 or 7,000 BTC bought from strategy at a relatively low price, finally, because normally strategy, when they buy, it's not really the best entry level in most of the acquisition that we saw lately. So this time it could be on the sub 100,000, which is I think pretty solid. And again, Sailor has been very confident. Big week, we are delivering. The new preferred is upsized, a lot of momentum for Stretch. So it's a new business model that the market needs to digest, but it's less than 1 year and they raised $8 billion from preferred offerings. The strategy is working.
Hello, this is the Bitcoin Libertarian, and we are back after 1 week of not having the show. We are back with Battistoshi Marco. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. It seems more than 1 week that we are not having the update, but yeah.
It's just 1 week, but a lot of things happen in last 2 weeks. That seems that this is a decade that we don't have the show. By the way, Diego is not joining today because we are in a few hours, we are flying back. We start flying back to Hong Kong. We do a stopover in Milan, and then we fly back to Hong Kong. We will be arriving there on Wednesday. Finally, I love Argentina. I had a great time here in my country, but I want to be back to my house, to my place, to my stuff, and come back
soon to your studio.
To my studio, yes, and be back to my normal life, to my regular routine. But were 2 amazing weeks here in Argentina, meeting a lot of Bitcoiners, making good connections that for sure will be in our podcast in Spanish, made some good connections also on the English-speaking side, but there were not so many English-speaking people. But what happened in these last 2 weeks that we were out, MicroStrategy is crashing.
Paid for bankruptcy or not? No.
Yeah, well, so the funny thing is that there are some, one of the things that I noticed here in Argentina and in the Spanish-speaking community is that most of the people, you have the maxis that they probably understand, but they don't want, they're even more maxi than me because they don't even like the treasury companies, because the narrative here is boost the adoption through using Bitcoin, through circular economies, through spending your Bitcoin. And for me, this is not possible to boost the adoption. I think the adoption is using Bitcoin as store of value, and Sailor and we need Sailor and Wall Street to do this advocacy again for Bitcoin as a store of value. We need to target these $300 trillion in bonds and all these equities. So most of the people, they don't like, because it's not aligned with Bitcoin ethos. And most of the people that are lost, I don't know how you call it in Italy or in English, but we call them ghosts. Ghosts are people that they like to speak based on nothing, just two drive views. And then is a funny guy. In the conference was a lot of people talking about trading, talking about this trading stuff, and there was the speeches that were more crowded. And one of the guys is so funny because he said, I would sell I don't have MicroStrategy, but if I had, I would sell all my MicroStrategy stocks because it's going to go bankruptcy. So for me, it was funny the level of ignorance that people have here. Even Diego was moderating a panel about treasuries,
Mhm.
and nobody knew anything about that. So let's talk about what happened with strategy. The strategy price fell below $200 per stock per share, and MNAV is below one. Now, of course, they not with the measure that is here, but it's probably 1.20. But if you do exactly the market cap with the BTC NAV, the MNAV is below one. So
Yeah, it
what is
depends if it's on
happening?
fully diluted shares or not.
Yes.
But yes, it's very compressed. And yes, Fernando, I agree with what you said. There is a lot of rumors behind it. There is a lot of misinformation. Of course, I mean now it's $200. The share price is much lower than the 440 we saw in November 2024, which was a spike of one day. Bitcoin has been flat, lateralizing, or maybe a bit down for the year. Strategy is deeply down for the year, but that was the trade. We knew in advance that when Bitcoin is going up, MicroStrategy is amplifying the returns. But then, of course, if Bitcoin is going sideways or going down, strategy is unfortunately having amplified losses because that's the trade. So I think nothing particularly wrong with it. Even more so if we consider the launch of new instruments. Stretch has been great lately. We can see also from here that Stretch has had like massive trading volumes, like 192 million on the last days. It means that a lot of volume, a lot of buyers. It's very liquid market. Probably sailors sold a lot of Stretch via the ATM during the week, because for the whole week was around 100. Then it closed below, but probably for the first 4 or 5 days, almost of the entire week, he sold Stretch for buying more Bitcoin. We see also Stream, the new product for Europe, that probably it closed probably yes this Friday. So on Monday we will see. I expect to see like a lot of some thousand Bitcoin coming from strategy on Monday. So yes, I think we need to navigate this turbulent time. Investing is a long-term game. Speculation is a different stuff. So if you embark on the journey of strategy, you should have known in advance that the path is not a straight line, is not an easy journey, because Bitcoin is not an easy journey. So yeah, I think nothing particularly crazy, nothing particularly under stress. The momentum and the sentiment is very down, but I think it can turn if we can have a decent Q4 and maybe even a better Q1 or the beginning of 2026. So nobody knows the future, but the fundamental of strategy are, to me, are very solid. No particularly concerning debt. No convertible debt that is due in 2027 or 2026. The strategy is strong. The arbitrage is still there. So yes, share price sucks. I agree, but overall it's still solid. So that's my general take on that.
Yes, probably what people need to understand. The other day I was talking with a friend that bought strategy around 300 something, and he was telling me, I lost 50,000 US dollars. And I said, one of the things that people need to understand, you didn't lose. You lost if you sell. You
Yeah.
lost if you do leverage and get liquidated. But if you bought strategy at 400 US dollars and now it's 200, probably you feel that you are losing, but you're not losing. And that's why we do this kind of shows and this kind of episodes, because we want to show the people that this is not a short-term game. This is a long-term game, and you need to understand that when you invest in, I think that in any stock, but especially in this kind of stock, or even in Bitcoin, you need to you need to think in a in a in a in a, in a vision of 4 years at least.
Yeah, at
So
least.
if you bought in November, if you bought a few months ago at 300 and now it's 200, or if you bought to 400 and now it's 200, you need to give at least 3 more years. So, but people has first, before, I remember they had an episode with Peter Duan at the beginning of this year, and he said that to invest in Bitcoin treasury companies, first you need to study Bitcoin for at least 100 hours. You need to understand what are you doing when you are buying Bitcoin. Then you need to buy Bitcoin. Then you need to study treasury companies for another 100 hours. And then you need to buy. But again, I think that all this fear, now I think that in Bitcoin we have extreme fear, is all in false, is because it's people that they don't understand
Mostly.
the asset that we are working with. And one of the things that Diego said last week, and we are going to be discussing, we were talking about that, and he said, for me, 2025 is the bear market. 2020, now everyone is talking about the bear market that is coming. For me, this was the bear market. I think that Bitcoin, because there are not uh, fundamental bad news that trigger these things. Remember that in the bear market of 2022, we have a lot of bankruptcies. We had FTX crashing. There are no fundamental stuff besides the China wars and Trump tweets. So I think that something big is about to happen with Bitcoin, and that's why it's moving in this strange way.
Yeah, Fernando, I think we also need to see if the Fourier cycle is true or is not true anymore. So I think Q4 of this cycle will be crucial to understand if this theory is no longer in place. And so that's why my feeling is that it will be very turbulent for the whole year, because I deeply think that Bitcoin is much more mature now, that the Fourier cycle is probably over. So a lot of people will sell, a lot of people will show up and buy. So the expected bear market won't be really, I think, occurring. And we will go inside Q1 and Q2 of 2026 into this kind of new leg up. That's my general overview. So I think a lot of people will be caught off guards thinking about the Fourier cycle as a dogma, and probably it won't happen. So a lot of people will, and so that's why Bitcoin is like very uncertain. It's very flat. It's going up, then it's going down. A lot of liquidation on both sides, a lot of uncertainty, a lot of fear. To be honest, I'm fine with Bitcoin at $100,000 because now we are at 95. Okay, 125 was better. I agree. But a couple of years ago, we were at 20,000, 25,000, 30,000, 10,000. So to be honest, I'm not in a bad situation with Bitcoin at 100K if it's sustained and if it's the base for the next leg up. So I think overall is we need to see this trend, if the Fourier cycle is dead or not, and we might need few more months to have the final overview on that. But coming back to strategy, Fernando, I just want to share. I'm sharing the screen of the post from Sailor saying big week. And I think it will be a big week because if it's true that they raised 710 million around dollars for a stream, and Stretch has been very, very active, plus the other instrument, I think we can see some 5, 6, or 7,000 BTC bought from Strategy at a relatively low price, finally, because normally Strategy, when they buy, it's not really the best entry level for in most of the acquisition that we saw lately. So this time it could be like on the sub 100,000, which is I think pretty solid. And again, Sailor has been very confident. Big week, we are delivering. The new preferred is upsized. A lot of momentum for Stretch. So it's a new business model that the market needs to digest. But it's less than 1 year, and they raised like 8 billion from preferred offerings. The strategy is working. The accumulation is working. The only thing that is not working is share price.
That's
Amen.
the and that's always reminds me the movie The Big Short, when there was all the fundamentals were saying that they were right, but they were losing money, and suddenly it crashed and happened that they were right. I think that this happened. I think that the market, what we can see this year is, we can see, of course, we already know that the market is manipulated. And that's why all these people, the traders, the DJs, the people that play with leverage, they are liquidated because they try to be smarter than the market. And you cannot be smarter than the market. So always, at the end of the day, what we do, that this kind of episode, is to tell the people, of course, no financial advice, but to buy and hold, to buy. The other day, there was a guy, we had a meeting, and there was a guy telling that the way that he orange peeled the people, the shops around his house, and he said, "Okay, I'm gonna have a haircut," and he talks to the barber. What happens if I don't pay for the haircut? Are you gonna be broke? You need to close the shop, or you are gonna continue working?
Sure.
That's what way. Okay, so I give you this thing, Bitcoin, that you don't have to touch for years, but you will see. And I think that people need to understand that. They need to understand that when they buy, they don't have to touch. When they buy, they will face all the things, and they have to buy with people with money that they are not going to need in the next 4 years. And don't use leverage. Don't do crazy things, because shit happens.
Yeah, we've been used over the last probably decades of overspending, of everything like right away, that after 1 week, if you don't have what you dream, is too much effort and you just give up. Bitcoin is the opposite. So you need to reframe your brain, your mind, to think long term, to think that the path is over the long term is certain. Bitcoin is going to be much more valuable than today, but the path to go there will be very uncertain, very unstable. So it's a process that most of us needs to understand. And again, Fernando, if people doesn't like the treasury companies, they can simply avoid them, don't buy them,
Of course. Of
just
course.
keep focus on Bitcoin, which I think since day one of this movement, we think deeply, and we said also publicly in these episodes, that Bitcoin is the real innovation. Bitcoin is the real asset. You need first to study Bitcoin, buy Bitcoin, hodl Bitcoin, and then eventually, if one day in the future you will be fine with your stack and you want to try some leverage play or other fancy stuff, enter the Bitcoin treasury space. But again, the priority is to buy Bitcoin as much as possible, not the other way around.
Of course, that's what I said. The only thing that I support the treasury companies is because are boosting the adoption of Bitcoin. They are buying Bitcoin. And one of the funny things that this ghost was saying in his TikTok or Instagram, because they don't even do episodes. They just do shorts.
Yeah.
Because and these stupid things to get the views. And
20 seconds.
the guy was saying that Sailor is not buying Bitcoin anymore. So that was funny. And you said that probably this week we are going to add 7K Bitcoin to strategy holding. So they don't understand, but people follows them. That's the shit, because again, they promise that with the trading that people will make money, and we promise the opposite way. We promise the boring way. But at the end of the day, again, you don't. This is a long-term game.
Fernando, a lot of bots, a lot of false statement, a lot of false rumors over the last weeks for against strategy, against a lot of those companies, driven by AI, driven by bots, driven by certain accounts that just want to create even more a bad sentiment. And again, it's normal. That's the market. Markets are brutal. If they can shake you out and let you lose money, markets wants that, because someone else will take money, because it's a zero-sum game. So I think sometimes people just need to, if they are unsure, they need to go back and study more. They need to research more. And if they don't understand something, don't touch it. Just buy Bitcoin. There is no problem on buying Bitcoin. It's still the best investment advice that we can say. Just buy Bitcoin.
Yeah, no financial advice for sure, but we can suggest that. And one of the things that was funny that I saw this week, that there were some rumors on X that Saylor was selling Bitcoin.
Yeah. It's insane. I mean, it's wrong. It's false. I think the company should, in this case, even apply like legal force to kind of sue those people, because it's if you do like with a big account, if you do like purpose on purpose some kind of false claims just to do some harm for companies, me as a shareholder, you as a shareholder can be hurt. So the company, I think, are fully entitled to go and sue those people, sue those accounts, and then eventually do some kind of legal battle. Because again, it's a false claim nowadays. It's a problem, and company like Strategy has the power and the legal capacity to deal with them and to enforce their position. So
yes, that's
not fuck around on those.
my advice to people, and this is a financial advice, is be careful to who you follow. Try to follow people that are respectable. When you follow someone on X, or when you follow a podcast or some influencer in YouTube, on TikTok, on Instagram, try to do a due diligence. Try to watch all the videos. I say for us too, we don't have the magic ball, but we have a consistent talk. And if you see this crazy stuff, try to double check who is saying. Try to check if Jeff Walton is saying this. Probably, I don't know, his account was hacked. Check if he's saying that the account was hacked. If Saylor is saying it, probably at the end of the day it's true, but don't take one voice and don't take this crazy shit that is talking. So again, when you follow, there is a lot of good information and free. We never had the amount of information that we have today to make decisions.
Even too much information, yes.
Free and too much. So we need to understand who follow, do the due diligence. For example, for me, I only follow a couple of persons. I know what they say. And when they say, if they say something that is not aligned what they will say, that they were saying, I will check if the account was not hacked or is something with AI. And if they are saying that, probably I will unfollow. So, but to do a recap of strategy, I think that there is no fear. Again, Sailor, and if you have problems, don't follow us. Don't follow Jeff Walton. Don't follow True North. Go and watch the earnings call. Is Fong Lee talking, Sailor talking, the CFO talking. So the people from the company. That's what we do. But to do a recap, like I think that strategy is not gonna go bankruptcy. It's super. The finance are super solid.
Yeah.
The plan is super solid. I don't know. What do you think about that? Their strategy.
Yeah, I think, Fernando, it's very solid. They transitioned a bit now with the preferred. They want to reduce the ATM offering on the common stock. It's a process. It's not even 1 year. I think the strategy is working because they raise around 7 or 8 billion in capital, 5 IPOs, 4 of them with more than 1 billion of capital raise. Other companies are entering the same space. Thrive is doing the same with the preferred offering in SATA. Have been oversubscribed from the 125 million to now they will raise 200 million. So I think there is a lot of demand, but people need to understand that price and share price can be completely off the technical and the fundamentals. Also, Amazon in 2000 was like minus 97%, 95%. And still, Amazon was pretty solid company. And Bezos told, yes, the fundamentals are, they were growing. So sometimes price is not reflective to the company situation.
Yes, again, and it's a new industry, so it's like Amazon in the 2000s. If you like football, I'm sure you like football. And if you are viewing us and you like football, probably sometimes you can play the perfect match and you can lose because there are other forces.
20 strike on the goal and then like 80% ball possession and you lose 1-0.
It happened. I remember when Argentina played the World Cup in 2002, that it reveals that I'm old, that Argentina was at this time the best team of the world. They were destroying all. And when they went to the World Cup, probably they shoot each match like 20 times to the goal and only scored 2 times. And we were out of the World Cup in the first round.
Yeah, I
Argentina
remember.
did wrong? No. But sometimes things don't happen. So, and that's the point. That comes the long term thinking. Saylor is doing what he says that he's been saying for years. He's still doing the same. They are raising money. Their debt is not crazy. They are not selling Bitcoin. So the only thing that is a problem now is the share price. But I think that this is momentary. Again, I don't have the crystal ball, no financial advice, but strategy will end up being a Bitcoin bank and will end up being the biggest bank, the biggest company in the world with the biggest amount of cash in the world, no matter what happens. And if you measure the performance of a stock in only 3 months, you need to do other things. Go to the casino. That, by the way, last week I went to Buenos Aires casino and I duplicate my investment in a few minutes.
But you can also lose everything on the casino. So
That's the point. But the case is, if you
no
want,
cry
if
in
you
the
want,
casino.
that's the thing. So I was telling, we were with Diego and Diego's cousin, film me for you too. If we win, I can sell a course. How do you win in the casino? But this is like, this is what it is. This is long term. You need to study, you need to focus. And again, and let's see. I think the future will tell. I'm super convinced with strategy. I'm all in on strategy. I think you too. And again, it's just momentary.
I am all in with the idea that
Yes. Well,
Bitcoin is an open source protocol. So everyone is entitled to use it as he wants. So if I want to
that's it.
launch a company and put Bitcoin on it, I should be allowed to do it. If I'm not allowed to do, Bitcoin is not open. If other company wants to build a payment solution like Square, or other people just want to use Bitcoin as a mean of payment, you are entitled to do it. If other people, even your worst enemy, decided to use Bitcoin and use it for his own purpose, he should be allowed to do it. So that's why the BlackRocks, the banks, they are allowed to do it, because Bitcoin, that's the purpose of Bitcoin. So I think that all of us needs to push their own narrative, their own idea of Bitcoin, and all together we can do a step. So more education, more Bitcoin as a mean of payment, more Bitcoin on companies. All together, Bitcoin will grow as an asset class. So I think we need to surpass this idea that Bitcoin needs to be only cash, needs to be only store of value, needs to be used only by the people we like and not by the people we don't like, because it's very superficial discussion. So I think the Treasury space is pretty new. It's working. Share price can be, again, not what we like, but who cares about what we like? I don't like the price of Bitcoin. For me, Bitcoin should be 1 million. It's 95,000. It means that Bitcoin is a failure? No, it means that I'm stupid to think that Bitcoin should be 1 million in 2025. That's my problem, not Bitcoin's problem. So the same will be for Treasury. People can decide not to buy strategy. People can decide to short strategy. People can decide just to buy Bitcoin. And so that's why I don't understand about all this bad sentiment about the
That's the
entire
point.
case.
The only true is that if you have fiat, you have a melting ice cube
Yeah,
and you have to do something. What are
yeah.
you going to do? It's up to you. Do your own research, put whatever you want, but we only share what we think that is the best.
And by
That's
the way,
the, yes.
I think this cycle for Bitcoin is much more similar to now that I'm like living it like very deeply, like thinking about most of my time, of 2016 and 2017. In the sense that also on kind of the progression of the lateralization of Bitcoin, we had, like, in 2016, Bitcoin was almost stuck at $500 for almost 1 year, and then it started to run. So if we
Yeah,
believe
and
that Bitcoin is superior technology, just keep accumulating. It's a great point to keep adding more Satoshi to your wallet. And then at some point in the future, in 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, I don't know, Bitcoin will do what it's intended to do. So be the fastest horse in the race.
Yes, totally agree with that. And let's talk a little bit about the conference, your experience in Amsterdam. How
Yeah.
was how
Yeah, it was very nice. To be honest, it was my first Bitcoin conference in Europe that I attended. And yeah, before you mentioned Jeff Walton, so I had the pleasure to have like 5 minutes chat, private chat with Jeff. He was a very smart, man, very genuine guy, very smart guy. Was like very open to have a friendly conversation with me. We had some discussion on Bitcoin equities. He said that we are just probably on the 1-2% of the total capacity of those companies to, so a lot is not yet to see. So also on Strive and strategy, of course. Then I had the chance also to have a chat with Saifdin. There was like a couple of speech from Jack Mallers. So I think the energy probably was not like super hyped because Bitcoin was kind of dumping and
well,
was
but
not like,
usually happens during the conference.
I think it's like something that is true now. During conferences, like Bitcoin is tanking. But yeah, I had good connection. I will do some podcasts on some companies delivering Bitcoin back credit. Someone on the mining side. I met founders. So the energy was there, and I think yes, we need to overcome the problem of price. Price is not everything on Bitcoin.
We need to keep doing what we are doing, and again, price is just a number. At the end of the day, we are here to end fiat and to do one BTC equal one BTC. So price is, of course, is a matter because all of the things now in the world are nominated in fiat. But what you need to think is that Bitcoin is going up, your purchase power is going up, and everything at the end of the day is gonna go. Did you talk with Saving,
Yeah, I
or
just
he's just
like
buying the book?
no, yeah, I have just a couple of sentences together. I mean, I just said a big thanks to him for the Bitcoin standard and for everything he's doing. And
You should have sent him my greetings. I didn't talk with him in Lugano because probably we were having a fight, but next time probably.
true for the Milei and the Argentina beef.
He's a big hater. He's a big hater of my president because my president supports Israel and he supports Palestine. What I want to say is in favor of Milei is I've never seen Argentina so beautiful like in this trip. I left Argentina in 2016. Well, I came back 2 years. Then I didn't come back until 2022, where when the far right, when the far left was in Argentina. This was like I don't know. I don't want to insult any country, but we say it looked like being in Africa. To be honest, it was
Very, very
like
bad.
looked like being in a place that
Fourth
we
world
can.
country, not even third. Yeah.
No, not even a third world country. For me, it was like even, but for me, it was good because I came from Hong Kong. I have dollars, and with 10 US dollars here, I probably can go and hire the president as my driver, probably in 2022. Argentina was crap you saw on the street. Last year, I came and I saw an improvement, but this year is incredible how beautiful is Argentina, how big is Argentina, and how Milei is making Argentina great again. So I encourage. I'm sure he's not watching this video. He's not gonna watch this video. But Safety, if you watch this video, if you had the chance to watch this video, I invite you next year to La VidConf and met the beautiful country of Argentina. By the way, something that I was amazed this week, Argentina is getting full of shitcoiners because now is Debt Connect is coming the shitcoiner in chief, Vitalik, this week, and all the shitcoiners are taking over Argentina. But something that there are a lot of shitcoiners from all over the world, and they are posting on X how beautiful is Argentina. And for me, even though I don't agree a single nothing with them. I like what they say of my country, and of course that's a good point.
Yeah, I mean, I think Safe love Argentinian people. He doesn't like probably the president and the way he's approaching, which is again political stuff. Again, it's yeah.
But
We should thank him for the Bitcoin standard
of
and for
course,
everything that he's doing. Then again, political views and etc. I want to keep it outside, but
the point that's the point. He's the thing is that he's so smart guy, and how come he start doing discussing these stupid things at politics? He must keep doing what he's doing for Bitcoin. I would love him to come here and talk against the shitcoiners.
Yeah, he did a very good speech in Amsterdam. It was the closing speech. Fiat is war and Bitcoin is peace. The name of the speech. Yeah, it was very
Yes,
very touching, very very cool.
and I include inside of Fiat again all the shitcoins because, as
Yeah,
I
they are
always say,
derivatives. Yes.
anything not Bitcoin is a scam. All these problem. But what I say from this shitcoin conference or having even shitcoiners in the Bitcoin conference is good because a lot of people, they don't understand Bitcoin yet. And they need to enter. If we
Somewhere.
explain Bitcoin on the real side that they need to wait and it will take time and all this stuff, they will not come. And so they come for the shitcoin casino. They come for these projects. Once
Money.
as I posted in Spanish, fighting against a shitcoiner, because I love more fighting against a shitcoiner than fighting against safety, that we are on the same team.
Yeah, of course.
With different view, but we are on the same team at the end of the day. And I was telling the shitcoiners, excellent, you do whatever you do, attract people. 100% of the people that go to this conference and engage to any project, sooner or later will lose all the money. And when they lose all their money, we are going to be there welcoming them. Because
Yeah.
probably the people who lose all the money on the shitcoin casino, half of them, they're going to say Bitcoin is crap, Bitcoin is shit, I'm leaving, I'm not coming back. But the other half, they will come to internet or they will go to the rabbit hole to find redemption, to find answers. And we are going to be there welcoming them, showing the hard way, showing the Bitcoin way that is not with unicorns or monkeys, JPEGs of monkeys smoking or coins with a frog, but is the way of like discipline, persistence, study, and the way of proof of work. And that is Bitcoin, and that's why we are here.
Yeah, I think ultimately shitcoins will arrive at some point to be converted into Bitcoin sooner or later. So I think it's of course it's not the good process to do it, but I think inevitably Bitcoin will monetize everything, and it will monetize also shitcoin. It will monetize excess leverage. It will monetize because at the end of the day, if you lose money, someone else make money, and normally
Yes,
smart money understand Bitcoin, and so they will convert those extra money into Bitcoin. So that's why Bitcoin is winning. It will be the number one forever, and there is no more
but
discussion for that.
yes. Anyways, it's a good way to. It's nice to leave the country now that all of the guys with the ETH,
Or
Twitter are here.
XRP, or
Or this, no, it's full of shitcoiners, Argentina. The smell of shit, I, 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 I smell it. The smell of scam, but we had an amazing time. And the funny thing is that the top Bitcoiners that came to Argentina for the conference, they are leaving. Most of them are in El Salvador in adopting Bitcoin. But again, it was an amazing moment, amazing conference to hang out with the big voices of the Spanish-speaking community in Bitcoin. And
maybe next year I will try to be there. So
you should,
I would love to visit
you you
Argentina, and yeah.
you can come and speak Spanish. You need to learn Spanish.
I can just speak
But yes,
Italian and add the S at the end of the sentence. So maybe
listen, it's
we can
easy. So it's easier. We can find a translator. So, but anyways, again, like it's good. What happened here is I live so happy because there are a huge community of Bitcoiners or real Bitcoiners here fighting for the truth. But there is a lot of job to do.
a
We
lot of
have
education.
a lot of education to do. And the good thing is that for us, for the project that we are running, there is a huge gap for growing. So that's motivates me for coming back to Hong Kong and keep working even harder than before to spread the
Spread
message
the message. Yes, yes, yes. I agree.
and to save people from the financial Armageddon. That is why we are here talking. So, Marco, what's happening today? Today, Italy is playing.
Yeah, it's playing against Norway just for the second place. But
They need to go win like 9-0 or something, right?
yeah, 9-goal difference, so we will end up second anyway. So I think it's
hope.
playoff, and
I
Italy
hope it.
is no longer the team it used to be when I was a kid. So let's see.
I hope you come back because we need Italy in the World Cup.
Italy has
Again.
become a shitcoiner team. Let's put this way.
Yeah, but this happens. So that's why something that I want to find the parallel with. Probably there are seasons like probably they don't reflect the price of things, and that's happened. Probably now people with strategy are no encouraged. They don't like the price is not good, but sooner or later, when you do things correctly, the result comes and shows. So you need to keep going, studying, and keep and have
and grinding. Yeah. Thank you,
so
Fernando.
Marco,
It was an amazing episode.
amazing episode. Probably I will be editing. By the way, I'm going to the airport in a few hours, but I will have to wait for long because the suckers of Lufthansa, they postpone my flight. Is another airline in a blacklist. So we have a lot
Another
of airlines.
airline.
Another shitcoiner airlines. We have a lot of. I think that we have so many airlines in the blacklist that better for strategy and Bitcoin, the price goes up next year because we don't have any other airline to fly. We need to hire a private jet. So better that for this time next year, Bitcoin is 500,000, strategy probably is 100, 1,000, 2,000. So we can come with a private jet.
Okay.
Because all the airlines last year, Turkish was in the same problem. Mm-hmm. All the airlines are shitcoins, and we are adding to the blacklist. So, Marco, again, thank you very much. What's your social media so our followers can follow you?
Yeah, only on X, Battistoshi93. I didn't be very active lately because of conference, traveling, etc. But yeah, it's time to refocus, regroup, and try to follow more the markets.
Yeah, me neither. I've been a little bit lazy, but this week I'm coming back to Hong Kong. Daily podcast, daily stream, weekly episodes of Bitcoin Treasury companies. It's going to be an amazing year. It's going to be an amazing year. A lot of things to do. And again, keep spreading the word of Satoshi around the world. Marco, thank you very much for your time. See you next week.
Yeah, next week. Yeah, thank you.
And thank you very much to everyone who is on the other side. If you like the episode, please give us a like, subscribe to our channel, share and comment because we don't ask you for money. But if you give us a like, subscribe, a comment, can help us a lot to keep spreading the word of Satoshi and help us in our big task of painting the world of orange. Share this episode with the people you love. Share this episode with the people you hate because we must reach 8 billion people and give them the orange pill. See you in the next episode of our podcast. Stay humble, stack sats, and remember, we are all Satoshi. And that's all for today. If you like the episode, please give us a like, subscribe to our channel, follow us on social media. Our X account is the Bitcoin _. Our YouTube channel is the Libertarian BTC. Our YouTube channel in Spanish is Libertarian BTC ESP. Our Patreon, the Bitcoin Libertarian. Our Instagram, the Bitcoin Libertarian. That's all. You can go there and follow us in all our social media.